Welcome back to You're Done. Cheers, Tash.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Technically, this is episode 1.
Yeah, you would have heard episode 0 because we had some technical difficulties, which I will talk about in my catch-up.
Yeah.
But as a reminder, I'm Brendan.
Tasha.
And welcome back to our hangout, our Kiki.
Of You're Done.
You're Done. Yeah. Season 2. We're in it to win it.
Imagine that. Look, the leaves are falling.
I know we're in like we're not in
I'm
t-shirts.
fully in sweater.
I know it's sad.
It's sweater weather.
Sweater weather. Okay, so let's start with the catch up.
Yes.
I'll go first, seeing as I sort of like gave a precursor to mine.
Yes.
So, we're in the midst of filming season 2, and you will notice if you watch future episodes that the environment changes because we're switching it up. We got a studio for our special guest.
Yeah, we bougie this season.
Yeah, we bougie for sure. And you know what the worst thing that could ever happen to a podcaster is? Especially a video podcaster? It's when the camera isn't recording. But the audio was,
Yes.
which you will have all heard. So that's
But we really were giving our all
Oh my gosh,
to this camera.
We were at an 11.
And it wasn't filming anything. I think it did the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, and we had another camera, like another angle, but it's just not, you couldn't watch it from that. It'd be like, weird audience member.
Well, we had to have one faux pas in our season.
I am actually surprised. That's the first time we've been recording where it wasn't actually recording.
True.
Because if you ever came and saw the setup that we have here, it's kind of insane.
Yeah. When you look around.
Yeah. There's a computer going.
Yes.
There's an iPhone going. There's lights. Like, it's a lot.
This light looked like it's about to fall on me, but by the grace of God, hopefully it'll stay.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine.
Beyonce and Shakira are down there as well. Keep holding it up. So.
Oh my God, have you seen the meme that's like, thank Beyonce?
Yeah, like,
I don't know where it came from.
They're really trying to come for our queen.
Yeah.
And none of it will stick.
Yeah, I just saw this thing about Jaguar Wright. Is that their name? The person who's like, I guess like worked with P. Diddy and...
Oh, yeah.
And they were, I'm not sure, I don't actually know, was like interviewed by Pierce Morgan and Jay-Z and Beyonce's team, like
cease and desist.
Yeah.
And he did an apology and he never apologizes.
Yeah, crazy.
Ever.
The power of Beyonce. We thank you, Beyonce.
We thank you
for letting us be alive.
Send us some Sir Davis.
I would love that. Cheers. Okay, so that was my catch up. But folks, stay tuned for all the exciting changes we have for season 2. So
love that.
Over to you, Tash.
All right. So currently, and I know that once you guys see this and hear this, it will be over, but Prime Days is currently happening.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have Prime.
Ever?
No, like I didn't have it, for like, I used other people's, but then I wanted to get something.
Got it.
And I needed it in the moment. So I was like, I'll just get Prime.
Yeah.
Right? I'm doing a 30-day trial.
Okay.
We'll see if I keep it. Anyway, so I'm like looking at the Prime Day specials right now because I wanted to buy like 2 things that I knew I needed.
Okay.
And in my mind, I've always kind of wanted a juicer. Do I need a juicer? No.
Okay.
Do I want a juicer? Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Do I drink much juice? No.
Yeah, you're not really
but
a juice girl.
I'm actually making it different.
Maybe.
So I'm
Do you have a lot of like kitchen gadgets to begin with? Okay.
I do.
So it just adds.
I do have a lot. Like I do. But I just love the kitchen things.
Fair.
So I look and it's $1,000. Okay?
What?
The juicer's $1,000.
Okay.
But it's on sale for $150.
I think they're inflating the price.
I'm not joking.
It's normally $1,000.
It says $1,000 and it's on sale for Prime Days for $150.
Yeah, what's the brand?
I don't recall.
Oh, I mean, that's a pretty good deal.
I know, but like I don't need it, but I feel like I need to.
This is how they get you.
This is how they get me.
This is how they get you.
I don't need a juicer. It's $150 for
I know.
$1,000.
I want one. You know those Ninja Creamies? Have you seen those?
I like Ninja stuff.
Yeah, it's so you
went for ice cream.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want it so bad. I would eat so much healthy ice cream, or just get fat off ice cream. I don't even care. I don't even care.
Or but then you can come over and I can make you some green juice.
We can have green juice and ice cream. We can have green
Can you
juice
make a
ice cream.
lactose-free one?
Oh, are you busted? Yeah.
Busted? Am I busted? Are you busted? Welcome to Are You Busted? And the show
You're
that we
done.
talk about toots. Like,
Yeah.
such a you're done.
So sorry about that.
Anywho, so
yeah, you can
I'm
make
trying
it
to
with.
decide if I want to get it.
I think you should.
I'm
You
not-
could return it if, well, not if you use
Oh.
it, probably.
Yeah. But then the other thing, because this is when all the purchases, the holidays are coming,
Mhm.
concerts are being announced.
Oh.
And one that got announced that will be next summer is Coldplay. And Coldplay is going to
Oh.
do, I think there's 11 shows and 2 of them is in Toronto.
Really?
Yeah, at Rogers Center.
I've
I've seen them before and like it was a magical experience.
I've heard that they do a crazy
It's
production.
magical. Like Beyonce top tier, but Coldplay was like as though I was floating. It was very strange. They did Fix You, I was unwell. I was unwell.
Yellow?
And they're like the first ones that had like the bands that would like
the
turn on.
flashing.
So it turned on during Fix You and everyone went like wild. So I'm like, do I buy a juicer or do I get tickets for Coldplay?
Yeah. Well, so the Kygo concert that got thunderstormed out, which I think you did some
I think
voodoo
I caused
on.
that.
Yeah, it's so evil.
It's because I was away on a trip and like Kygo's my favorite DJ and I was so sad I was going to be missing it.
So you evil-eyed lightning. So watch out. Miss Tasha's got voodoo powers.
Like our next guest will tell you, Marty, that I'm actually really good at managing the weather.
Yeah.
So see you in January, Kygo.
Yeah. And that was so sad. But they had the flashing lights and we never, like the wristbands that we
Sorry
never got to
about
see. Ugh, terrible. Speaking of wristbands, our topic for today is sort of related because they get buffs and some of them wear them as wristbands.
Okay, I see what you did there and I saw you trying to get that, but
And
you know what you did?
I did. I got there. I got there. So cue the music. I'm gonna get canceled.
Well, that's just we'll put the sound.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. We're gonna. Anyways, so our theme of today is Survivor.
Survivor.
A show that I
The
have.
show, by the way.
Yeah, which a show I've loved since it came out in 2000.
Yeah, it's 2024 right now.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, totally wild. And I was looking up if you didn't know this, but it's actually based off of like a Swedish TV show called Expedition Robinson.
That's a lot to say in your mouth. Say it again.
A Swedish show called Expedition Robinson.
Expedition Robinson.
From the 90s, but it's the same idea. It's like basically castaways.
Like leave them out there.
Yeah.
And try
leave
not
them.
to die.
Just leave them. And anyways, then Survivor's made. So when we were doing some research for the podcast, I was like, I love facts like this. I have to share it.
That's a good fact. I remember like when it first came out, I mean, I was still within the womb because, I'm so young.
You're like 12. How are you even? You were like a zygote.
Exactly. I was a thought.
You were a
I
thought.
was a star in the sky.
You're a thought in Auntie Joy's vision.
Twinkle of her eye.
Twinkle.
But I remember watching it and being like, this is so weird because it's not anything that I recalled seeing on TV. It was also like, who would want to do this and just be like sent onto a beach and left there? But I'm like, I like the beach, but then I see that they have nothing.
No, I do not. This is the thing, like, Survivor is interesting because it's like, if you haven't seen it, for those that haven't, the concept of Survivor is there's like 20 castaways. How many? I think it varies.
It varies.
But basically, these people get left on like a deserted island or beach or whatever. And then depending on when you started watching it, they are either divided into like 2 or 3 teams that are tribes. And then they eventually do challenges to win immunity. And then every episode, the tribe that doesn't win immunity then votes the person off.
Goes tribal council.
I don't know anyone who's like probably listening to this that doesn't know where Survivor is, but there's a possibility.
Where have you been? But we're inclusive.
Yes. And there's 47 seasons.
That's wild. And all with the same host. Like Jeff has just been consistent. He has the most stable job in the world.
Totally. Oh, it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. And they actually posted a picture the other day of like him and I think there was 10 original crew members that have been there since the whole time.
Wow.
Iconic.
The thing I find
job security.
Yeah. The thing I find so interesting. So my journey with Survivor was when it first came out, I watched it with my family and I must have been like 9. And it was like back when obviously streaming and stuff didn't exist. So you had to just like actually
Was it Wednesday night or Thursday nights? I think it was Thursdays.
I don't know. I could believe you because that's like prime time.
Sure.
But like it was when you had to like actually sit and be there ready for the show, which is just crazy.
Run and pee at the commercials.
Literally. Yeah. And like I watched it like it was my family's like thing. We would watch Survivor when it was on for years. And then I think probably when I was like in high school or maybe when I went to university, I stopped watching it. And then I didn't watch it for 12 years probably. And I only got back into it just at the end of the pandemic.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my gosh, why have I not been watching this? Like the whole time.
Iconic.
It's so good. And it's so like the drama, like it's never gotten dry.
It's never gotten dry. You can see that it is evolved with the times, with society. So that's really good. But like similar to you, I remember watching maybe the first like 3 seasons or so, or even more, because I remember when like Rob and Amber
oh my
like
gosh.
hooked up, and like I was like, oh, I hope this works out. And they're still together. They have kids. They've gone on it multiple times.
Crazy.
So good. But then I fell off of it for a while. But then in high school, I had this friend that would have Survivor parties.
Okay.
So not watching parties.
Like participating.
So in his backyard, he would make a mini Survivor. And it was a day event.
That's crazy.
And like he ordered the buffs.
Wow.
Like the actual buffs.
Bracelets.
Bracelets. Bring around the Rosie. And we'd have tribal council. We would have like challenges.
Wow. How long would this go on for?
For the whole day. Like you come at 9 and you leave at 12.
Okay, but thinking about that, like, were you exhausted by the end of it?
Yes, and that was one day.
That's what I was just going to say. Like, real Survivor is literally
and
like 39 days.
Good lunchtime.
Okay, so it wasn't really Survivor.
It was just a Survivor like game.
Right.
And so I completely stopped after that. And I didn't actually watch it at the end of the pandemic, but I think it was last year that someone at work was like, oh, maybe 2 years ago. Oh, like, are you watching this season? I'm like, oh, I haven't watched it in years.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, no, you have to watch.
Because it's crazy.
Yeah. So I watched from season 40 up because it's the new era.
Okay, yeah.
But season 40 was it was the like winter season. So all the winners were in that one.
Yeah.
But then I went backwards to 25 up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I binged it.
I need to do that because there's a whole chunk that I just like haven't seen.
Oh no, watch it. It's just wild. There was one season and I think it's 32. I can't recall, but you know when they first are bringing you to the islands, like they're like, you're on a boat and you have to like jump off of the boat and try to get as much things as you can. And then you're at your island. Yeah. Right? In one season, Jeff is like, so here's the map and it's a 24-hour hike through the rainforest or the forest, wherever. And like snakes are in there. There's no path. Have fun.
Girl, bye.
And they did a 24-hour hike and like 3 people collapsed.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
did they make it?
But it was whomever got to the island first got the better tools.
Oh.
Right? So everyone's trying to go fast, but I'm like, they're dying. There's seasons that people were literally like fell into the fire, lit on fire and had to be air vac out.
Yeah.
And so like, it's not like fun and dandy. Like a Big Brother, that would be fun, but you're not going to die. Like you could die.
Well, the thing that I don't understand, and this is kind of my first question to you about this, is like they don't seem to have like any sort of, there's always people that want to be on it. Yeah. Like it doesn't seem to be like that pool is drying up.
No.
And they're like really diehard people that go, would you ever go on Survivor?
All right. First things first. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. In the West, it's a Beyonce. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry all the time.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm even a person that like when I wake up, when I open my eyes, I need to have breakfast.
Right.
Okay. So imagine that all I had like 3 grains of rice for 3 days. I'm not going to be nice. Number 1. No. Okay. Number 2, I wouldn't say that I'm a swimmer. If I'm in a pool, I can confidently swim from one side to the other. Yeah. Because I know there's a ledge. Right. There's a way that I'm going to stop. Yeah. Open ocean water.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. And like some of those challenges are like in the deep.
Yeah.
Of the ocean.
The one where there's one where they have to like hold onto the bars and it's when the tide is coming up and they just have to hold their breath. I get that part of it is like, you're not going to die. There are people there, whatever. It's like more the mental.
You could like, there are moments that there was a season that a woman, like, she was laying down and a bug went into her ear and it was like in her brain and she could hear it. Yeah, girl.
Well, I'm going to have nightmares tonight. Thank you so much for that.
And like, it took like 3 days to come out. It was like, okay, so that's my number 3 is that like, if a rat runs over my face, if
Done.
a bug goes in my ear, if a snake looks at me rudely, I'm just bring me out.
I hear you.
Bring me out. Would you do it?
No, I would not do it. No, never. There's no part of me. Like, I was thinking about this. I'm like, what would I be good at? I think I would be okay at the social game of it. Like,
Yes,
I think I would be able to like make connections, whatever. But I also like have this fear that like, I think I'm really personable and friendly, but then I feel like I would go there and I would just be so paranoid that it would just
because
like,
the game is in every aspect. Like you can never sleep and rest because anything you do is gameplay.
Totally.
And you have to remember, what lie did I tell one person? What, you know,
what the optics of me hanging out with this person.
Yeah. If I go pee
it's like
for
high
too
school.
long,
Yeah. People think I'm looking for an idol.
Looking for an idol,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh my God, that's what
I
they
would
never.
love to find an idol though.
That would be iconic.
Just bring me on it for a day to look for an idol.
They never talk about that I've seen, like the going to the bathroom scenario.
No, they don't really talk about it, but there was a couple, like one season, a couple of years ago that the guy's like, oh, I'm going to go take a dump because he does it in the ocean.
Gross. I mean, I get it. It's like a giant toilet, but that's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
What part do you think you would be good at on it? Like, I think the social game.
Okay, so I agree with the social game, but like, here's my worry. Because I'm very outgoing, I feel like I would have to dwindle that back a little bit because you don't want to be seen as like the go-to person that like, guys, let's start this fire. Let's, you know, create this. Let's do this. Or like, let's be in a group together. And like, I'd have to like dim myself a little bit.
Yeah. Cause I feel like it's always
but
like.
Then I'd get hungry and I forget. So.
Well, I think like the big personalities always get voted out early because people are like, oh, they have a strong energy. People are drawn to them. And like, obviously the fear is that like, and for those who haven't seen it, at the end of Survivor, like the final episode, those that are on the jury vote for whoever they think deserves $1 million.
Which is even harder.
And I bet you they like people with a big personality. The concern is that you make a lot of friends, the jury will vote for you.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
it's a fine balance. It's a fine balance. That's why it's an excellent show.
Yes.
Because there's so much going on at all times.
But not much like producing. That's the thing I like about it. It's very little. It's not produced.
Because the game is playing itself. It just has to go. Like right now, I'll ask you the question, but if you're watching the season, there's a guy named Rome who's driving me
crazy.
Because he's like, I'm the shit.
He reminds me of someone that we worked with. Who I will tell you about afterwards. And it's like, it's this personality of this person, like, yeah.
Just thinks that they're the bee's knees. Like, think that in your head. Don't say that out loud because no one's going to want to give you $1 million. But to that point, thoughts on the new era.
Okay. So for those of you that haven't been keeping up to Survivor, and I'm probably not even going to say this as well, so please correct me if I'm wrong.
You know,
basically the new, you'll have to listen to me to correct me.
Oh, screaming.
So the new era happened after what you were saying. So after the all winter season, then they switched to this new format.
Season 41,
So it used to be 39 days.
39 days.
So it was 39 days that you were like, if you were the winner, you would have been on the deserted island for 39 days or whatever. They've shortened it to 24.
No, it's like 21 days or
21.
something.
Yeah, it's quite significant. It's significantly shorter.
COVID.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But because of that, they reduced a lot of like the things they would give you.
Nothing.
They used to give you like some tools and rice.
Yeah, rice.
Like a pot, something like that.
Yeah. Now they're like,
you get nothing.
Yeah, you have to try to, you know, win to get something.
I think they must give you like a machete or something.
No. Like in the first episode when they have the challenge,
it's nothing.
Whichever team wins gets the tools.
Right, and a flint and stuff.
The flint, and then the other two teams have to do like a challenge
to win,
to get something.
Yeah. So then on top of that, normally, and not every season in the previous era was like this, but most of the time it was just 2 tribes. Now it's 3.
Yeah.
So it's like smaller groups of people, which also makes it more interesting because the social game is way more tighter.
Yeah.
Because
and it's so fast.
So fast. Yeah.
You have no time to like
figure out what you're doing. Yeah. Because in the bigger tribes, like it's a bit easier to like fly under the radar, where in a smaller group, you only have 6 people or whatever. Yeah. Like it's very quickly.
I think it's a harder social game.
Definitely.
With a shorter amount.
Yeah.
In terms of because there's outwit, outlast, outplay, right? So the outwit, part in this is the one that is harder.
Totally.
From like trying to survive.
The Outlast, yeah.
Like I was going to say I can make it without eating.
Well, like 18 days less.
True. That's a significant amount.
Because
people leave thin.
Yeah.
Thin. Like I've actually like listened to one of the podcasts that they're eating. Who was it last year? Oh my gosh, she came in second.
I didn't watch last.
Oh, I gotta watch it. Anyhow, he's like, I can't eat normal.
Like he's just
ever
messed.
Since. Yeah.
Well, that's what I heard, that a lot of the times in the previous seasons that like when they were finished, they were having to be like flown to hospitals because they were so malnourished, whatever. And it's like, what? You want to put yourself through that? Like they do get paid to be on it, not much.
Do they?
Yeah. You have to be on a TV show. You have to be paid. It's not a lot, but I think it's like the longer you're on it, the more you're paid. Obviously.
Okay, well, I knew that if you come third or second and first, you all get money.
Yeah, and I think there's like it's not a salary, but there's a dollar value. So I think like if you have played till the end, you get maybe like $60,000 or something. Like it's still
so it makes up for you not being at work.
Totally. It's definitely still like a material amount of money if you can get all the way to the end.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Girl,
I ain't going on it.
Well, but shout out to the first ever Canadian winner, Miss Erica from Toronto.
I got a story about her.
Do you?
Like, yeah.
Oh my God.
So I can't remember what the club is, or it's like a bar in the village.
The one that we went to for my birthday.
Yeah, what was the name of it again?
The Drink.
The Drink. And I look over and I'm like, I see the purple hair and I say, that's Erica.
Yeah, it was for my birthday last year, actually.
Yeah, I said, that's Erica. And my friend was like, no, that's not her. You're just mistaking her for another Filipino girl.
With purple hair?
I said, no, I'm not.
Unlikely.
No, I'm not. So I was like, I'm going to go see.
Mm-hmm.
Go over. Are you Erica? She's like, I am.
I love.
Girl, I didn't want to fangirl, but what I wanted to say is like, you did that.
You did that thing.
You did that thing.
Yeah.
First Canadian winner.
Slay.
You did that and you got $1 million American dollars. Probably not taxed as much as the Americans.
1.3 or 1.4.
So like you actually got $1 million.
Insane.
Right? So I said, how's it like being a millionaire?
So do you remember introducing me to her? Because afterwards you came back to me and you're like, Brendan, Erica's here. And I was like, oh my God, what? You're like, come see her. And I was like, okay. So you brought me over and I was so drunk because it was my birthday. People have been buying me shots. I looked a mess for sure. And that was after we met Evie Oddly, which was also wild.
Yeah, same night.
And the first thing I said to her was, I don't think I've ever met a millionaire before, which is truly not possible. I'm sure I've
in Toronto, you've met, but like one that we've watched go from
just a regular schmegular person.
And then what?
So can I tell you some tea about that? Ooh. And I hope this isn't, we'll see, whatever. So my barber, his wife, or I think both of them are friends with her. And so when her season was airing, because she knows she goes to the end, right? She doesn't, I don't know if she necessarily knew she ended.
Comes back, of course.
Yeah, but it hasn't aired yet, right?
Yes, but you've known you've won. Yeah.
So she rented out like a theater to watch the finale.
Yeah.
Being like, oh my gosh, hey, watch this.
Me succeed.
And it was a super spreader event. Everyone there got COVID. I think everyone's fine. But I remember my barber being like, yeah, it was really fun, but we got so sick. I'm like, oh my gosh.
You know what also was a super spreader event?
What?
Guess.
Oh, my comedy show?
Your comedy show. His first comedy show. We all went to support, and then everyone was like...
Yeah, I invited like 18 friends, and literally 16 of them got COVID.
Yeah, so let me tell that story
from Carly. Carly, I'm looking at you. You gave everyone COVID, you know it.
Screaming. Okay, well, what do you think about the amount? So the prize is $1 million.
Right.
And it's always been $1 million, except season 40, which was $2 million.
For the all winners. Because I think they needed to do that because all those people already had $1 million.
True.
So like, what does it matter?
What does it matter? And then, do you think it should still be $1 million? Because there's no other show that gives you $1 million. It's the only show that gives you $1 million.
Doesn't Amazing Race give you $1 million? Like American Amazing Race?
I don't think it's $1 million.
It's not? Okay, I don't know.
Oh, now I can't remember.
I thought the American version of Amazing Race was $1 million.
I thought it was like a trip around the world. Maybe it's $1 million. No, I don't know. Got to fact check that. But ultimately, with inflation,
it was the first, I believe, that was giving you $1 million. Unless it was like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Yeah, but that's a game show in a different way. True. Yeah. Anyways,
but like, do you think it should still be $1 million?
No, it should be way more.
How much?
Well, okay, so I compare this to Drag Race.
Okay.
The fact that Drag Race is no longer $100,000; it's $200,000. It's inflation.
Sometimes $250.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. which is so much. I love that for drag queens, but they should be getting $1 million, to be honest. Like, I will sign that change.org website to give drag queens $1 million to win Drag Race.
Love
Anyways,
that.
I think it should be like 1.5 or 2. I think it should be, what they should have done is what Drag Race did, which was, they had the all winner season, and that was the first season where they offered the 200,000.
And then just kept it there.
Exactly. It should have been, okay, all winner season 2 million. Now everyone gets 2 million.
Yeah.
Because there's
like,
no
if it
way.
was 2 million, maybe I would do
You
it.
would try? 2 million.
Because now there's been about 5 or 6 Canadians, and like
and 2
gone
have
on
won.
it.
Back
Two
to
or
back.
3 have won. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's Erica, and then it was Marianne. She was also, she was from like Pickering or something.
Yeah. So like for 2 mil,
I'd do it.
I'd do it.
wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. No,
I'd do it for 2 mil.
The reason I wouldn't do it is because I wouldn't win. There'd be no point in me even going. Also, people don't want to, like, if you're watching the podcast, thank you so much. But if you were watching Survivor, you just see me complain for like 3 episodes before I got kicked off. I'd just be like, Jeff, I would pull a Ben de la Creme. I'd be like, I'm sending myself home. I'm sending my, you know what,
It's
Ruth?
been enough for me.
Yeah, I've had enough.
I've had enough, honestly. Like, but I know what I couldn't do for sure. Like, I think I could fight through the not sleeping, not eating, trying to swim and not die in the ocean.
Yeah.
But when they're like, eat this tapeworm,
Oh, eat brains.
like I'd be like, I didn't sign up for X Factor.
No, we're good.
I'm good.
We don't need all that.
We don't need all
all that.
Like, I'm good to go home. Thanks so much. I'll eat something at home.
Oh my gosh.
Should we bring the segment?
I think it's
I think
okay.
it's segment time.
It's the first version of this of season 2. It is our segment Screaming. And Natasha, before we get started, talk about these incredible.
You always like to, well, I was going to say this year, but we're in the same year, but this season. So our previous beautiful microphones, the inflatable microphones that we had, that I had borrowed from a party.
Borrowed. Correct.
Borrowed from a party, deflated on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
so,
like, womp.
but now we have like a pack of them.
Yes.
So we're
going to change it up.
Yeah. And they even have a little button on them. It is really cute.
It's so cute. I think we look so fetch.
Yeah. Iconic. We're going to try to make merch of these for
Honestly,
sure.
wouldn't that be so cool?
We could get like,
or a pin about it.
Ooh,
I love a good pin.
I love a pin. Okay, so my screaming for this is that Survivor is actually really gay.
Tis.
So I have many reasons for this. One is that gay people love the show.
Love it.
Like, it's one
love it.
There's like Housewives, there's Drag Race, and there's Survivor. Those feel like the 3 trifecta of like reality TV that gay people love.
Reality TV.
I don't know if there's always the overlap of all 3 for gay people, but for sure you can find a gay person that will like at least one of those. In fact, and I wish I could remember what it was called, but there is a gay Survivor watch party that happens at Pegasus on Wednesdays. We should go. You would love. You would love. Go. Actually, friend of the pod, KB, a friend of hers from high school, is the one that like hosts it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So first of all, that's it. Gay people love it. But here's why. So my thesis on this. Why do gay people love Survivor?
Screaming.
So, there's a ton of gay people on it. The drama is really good. So in terms of the gay people that are on it, there's a couple of instances that I was thinking of. The very first winner of Survivor was a gay man.
Yep.
Richard Hatch.
Yep.
I don't know if he was out at the time.
Because I'm watching that season right now.
Okay.
And I think it was like in the third episode, he was talking about how he's gay, and I can't remember his name, but he was like a previous like Navy SEAL or something, like an older guy was like, oh yeah, like, I'm surprised I'm friends with a gay guy because like they're not normally like this, you know. Back at home, my friends might make fun of me, but I have a friend that's gay.
Your Navy SEAL impression is incredible.
Thank you.
So, anyways, and that should have set it off. That Richard Hatch won, gay people. But then there's like, for instance, we have Erica, first Canadian winner, also queer person, love, iconic.
And when she came out like 2 years ago, we were gooped and gagged and so thankful.
Oh my gosh, representation. Yeah, so good. So good. Her purple hair should have given it away, though, to be honest. And then there's season favorite, who's been on it many times, Parvati. Icon.
Because Parvati said, you're just going to look at me and you're going to forget you're on the game.
Yeah.
So I can win the game.
Oh, she's so good.
She did. She's like...
And then she came out because she's dating also fellow Canadian comedian Mae Martin.
So I think that was like I swear, like 2 weeks after Erica had like said
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I
And
think
we're-
it was the same day.
Yeah. Okay. It was the same day. And we're like,
They were like, gay people,
Oh.
gay rights.
busy day.
And then some of the best drama that's ever happened on it were because of queer people. It was actually really horrible what happened.
Oh, I know what
But
you're
when
going to say.
Zeke gets outed by Varner, that was
That
truly
was
horrible television.
Horrible. Like, I was watching that and I was
Insane.
just shocked.
Because Varner
Not
was
just
like,
outed as gay.
no, it was as a trans person.
As a trans person. And like, had like,
It had nothing to do with
had
it.
nothing to do, but because he had realized that like, oh, I'm probably about to go home.
Yeah.
What could I do that can like stir the pot? But like, stir the pot. There's a difference between stirring the pot to try to win
Yeah.
and stirring the pot to ruin someone.
Well, so for those of you that haven't seen it, so basically what happens is at a tribal council, Zeke, who is like, I don't think he was ever particularly like, he just wasn't sharing that he was trans, but Varner
Wasn't a secret.
So Varner is gay. And so because they're both queer people, Zeke shares in confidence to Varner that he's trans as like a way to be like, oh, like we bond, blah, blah,
we
blah, blah.
connect.
And then Varner, who I think ends up turning out to be like actually really psychotic in real life. Like I think he's like a crazy person. Well, yeah, but like has gone even further than that. Like is super anti-trans, like something like J.K. Rowling level crazy. Anyways, they're at this tribal council. It's like they're talking about lying, and Varner thinks that he's like about to be voted out. So he's like, well, on the topic of lying, Zeke, why haven't you told
Zeke's
anybody
also lying.
why you're trans? And the look,
Everyone.
horrible. Great television.
I mean, if I can find the clip, I might even put it on this because let's try. Insert here.
Yeah.
If you don't see
Insert
it
here.
didn't insert.
Yeah. No, we can do that. We have the magic of that to do.
It was just so heartbreaking. And at first I'm like, am I just watching like a made up moment?
Yeah.
But it was not. It was hurtful.
But then one of the things I have to say, and we haven't really talked about him at all, but like Jeff as a host does a really great job of being able to like put people in their place.
Put them in the place.
And also finds like the way to sort of build the human moment of it. Like that was really inappropriate. Totally.
Oh, yeah.
And Varner goes home that like immediately. I think they basically without even voting.
They're like, we don't even need to vote. Like your ass is out.
Which was iconic.
But
that's what made it good TV.
Yeah.
Was like he did something truly horrible and then the punishment consequence happened immediately.
Yeah.
Like all those people, because there was that the other person on the tribe, it's like this southern woman. She was like a police officer or something and was like had gotten really close to Zeke. And she was like, she made like a really impassioned like moment about like, I didn't know that about you, but like that doesn't change anything about you to me and blah, blah, blah. And it was like really, it was quite a beautiful moment because it's like a kind of conservative person realizing, which I think that's what's cool about Survivor is that you're seeing people that you wouldn't normally see
expand like their mindset. Like there was a season a couple years ago with a guy who was actually like being super inappropriate, like touching different women on it and like tickling them. And they're like, you know, and
don't touch me.
Yeah. And they even had like a moment with him with the producers and it was like, you have like one more
before
shot, right? And then the screen like goes black and it says like, I can't remember his name, but like we've removed him.
What episode? What season is this?
I gotta look it up. But they removed him because he was inappropriate.
Ugh.
Right? So many things have changed.
Gross.
Like one of the things, I can't remember if this was 2 seasons ago, but Jeff, also you have to understand, like starting this, 47 years ago, 47
You're done.
47 seasons ago, especially on mainstream TV, like talking about, you know, controversial topics wasn't something that was done. And so now in this new era, we see a lot more inclusivity, but then also I remember he was like, you know, whenever you guys come in, for a challenge, I'm like, hey guys.
Right. And he talks about that. And then he actually
said, I realized because the feedback that have been given to me from my peers and my friends and like the collective of Survivor watchers that like that isn't inclusive. Yeah. So I want to ask you all, like, what should I say instead?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now when he said that, I was like, this is
like
a huge
a real
show. This is a real moment.
Yeah. Totally.
Right. And so, and it's been changed ever since.
I really wonder in that vein, like if they'll ever introduce like adding people's pronouns just to like their like cards. So I think that would be kind of helpful.
Yeah.
Just as like, because I sort of think like generally that I'm really impressed that in the like 10 years of like the last decade, we've really seen that become a much more common thing, especially at work. But it strangely doesn't happen on TV.
It's true.
Which it would actually be the most useful for.
It would be the most useful for.
Anyways, so all that to say, Survivor is very gay. If you're a gay person that has not watched Survivor in a real long time, listen to me now. I am begging you. Just watch one of the recent seasons, preferably Erica's, and you'll just be in it. You'll be back in it.
I would just say watch in general. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And this season, apparently being a podcaster on the show.
That's why we couldn't go.
It can't go. And
spoiler alert.
He's gay.
Oh yeah, from Pod Save the World.
Yeah.
But did you watch the latest season, the latest episode?
No, it comes out today.
The one last week.
Yeah.
Aisha.
Yes.
Also podcaster.
Also gone. Bye-bye.
Sorry
right?
If you're not up to date. We've now just spoiled it.
But ultimately, I'm a big fan of Survivor. It's 47 seasons in, and I'm still waiting for more.
Yeah.
But season 50, here's my ask.
Okay, tell us. I'm listening.
Listen up, okay?
Jeff, I'm sure you're listening to You're Done.
Okay? Listen up. I need it to be back to the olden days of the 39 days.
Why?
I need that. I need it to be much harder. Season 50? What show was at 50?
Maybe it'll be 50 days.
Huh? Ooh, and then somewhere cold.
Oh, I don't know.
Because it's only been on Fiji since COVID.
Yeah.
Because they filmed 2 back-to-back.
Well, and didn't they buy an island or something?
They did. They have their own island.
Yeah.
But I just need it to be harder. I need them to be all you have is the berries from this tree to eat.
Okay, do you know what's really hilarious? I know you're wrapping this up, but you know that there's a Survivor Quebec?
What?
Because obviously Quebec has to have their own everything. There's no such thing as Survivor Canada, but there is Survivor Quebec. I don't know where they go to fucking Ile de Montreal. Where? Where are you going?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I think they go somewhere tropical. No, it's real. It's 2 seasons now.
Oh.
It's real. I Googled it up. Survivor Quebec. Oh. That's just French Canadians.
I would imagine.
Gag. It would be so crazy.
Well, then your choice is to watch, the regular Survivor.
Let's go on that one.
Or what? Go on the Quebec
Survivor
one?
Quebec.
And what would we be tabernacle? What are we?
Not getting us demonetized. Wow. Yeah, in Quebec.
Unless you know what that means.
Yeah.
But essentially, maybe this discussion has made me think that maybe I could do it. So we'll think maybe season 50. Don't make it that hard.
Let's go as pairs, you and I.
And just not tell them.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Shall we cheers?
We should cheers.
Cheers that we are on dry land, not on...
I'm going to sleep in my own bed. I'm going to eat my own food.
Eat my own food.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. Mm.
Well, folks, if you like the Survivor content, we can go into more.
Yeah.
We could go way more niche for you. If you want us to do a season, we could do that. We love talking about weird random things. So, as always, make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast at You're Done the Pod. And we'll see you next week for our next episode. I almost said our next episode. Okay.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.